we've seen, I think, well, maybe the game of the tournament, maybe the game of the year, I don't know, but would you please take us through it and
Sure.
show us the ins and outs?
Okay, so a3, up till here, this is all well known. Even rook c8 is well known. I guess by now it's also well known that b4, c5 is a draw. There was a game between Topolov and Kazimzhanov in London, which more or less clinched that. So knight g5, and this is the question, of course, because for a6, knight g5, and white gives the pawn after bishop h2 check, king h2, knight g4 check, and white gives this pawn in return for the two bishops in a better pawn structure. So the obvious question is, why not against rook c8 as well? And of course, this was our match preparation for Boris. c5, simply ignoring the pawn on h7.
So I think there was a white Tata game with this position, yeah, where instead of c5, black took on h2.
That's right, but then it's a slightly worse version. I mean, if you can play a6, is a better version than rook c8 for the pawn sack. So black will then have to play a6 in order to play c5, and white will have excellent comp. I mean, I think white's even better there. Well, c5. To be honest, I didn't remember every last detail, but of course it helps to know where this thing. He went knight h7. Of course, bishop h7 is also a move, but well, we found compensation for black everywhere. Knight h7, knight g4. For h3, I think it's important to do bishop h2 check. No, not that one. And this is good for black. He went f4, and to be honest, I was trying to remember the details. So I spent about half an hour here, which is strange if you think, of course, it's a preparation, but of course it was a while back. And there are just a lot of details, and I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. So, but this bishop c5 is good. The point is, after dc5, knight c5, there's nothing white can do. He can play queen e2, queen d4 check, king h1, knight takes d3, queen takes g4, king takes h7, and now, for instance, queen g3, king sorry, that's not necessary, rook ft8 or a6, and black just is doing excellently. But that was the best. I mean, he went bishop e2, and I was a bit surprised because I mean, I think black is, I mean, at least this was what I thought of the board. I thought black was doing excellently here as well, because he will continue with queen h4 and play bishop g3 or something. But then I started to think about knight d5.
So this was the point that you still remembered the prepper. Was this as far as the preparation went?
Well, I don't remember exactly how. I only remember the position is supposed to be fine for black. So I was only playing on that confidence. Well, obviously it's a big help knowing that something is good. Yeah. So I don't remember every detail, and of course this thing is crashing, of course. Well, we just have to wait a bit. Okay. So takes king h1, knight g4, knight g8, and now this move I'm very proud of. I mean, to find it over the board, I think is very nice. f5. And the point is after knight g6, because there's no other way to stop queen h4. Of course, queen h4 here, you get the queen h7 check with the knight on f8. And that's not good. But I was calculating f5, and to be honest, I didn't see a defense, but maybe there is one, but I simply didn't see one. I thought the best he can do is get a worse endgame here with rook f3. And then I can play knight f2 check, king h2, bishop f3, or even bishop f3, queen f3, knight f2 check. So I'll just take you through the line. And black has a huge grip. I was going to, spend 10 minutes to see if there's something even more forcing. Maybe even king f7 wins or something, but I wasn't, I knew this was a minimum. And I was a bit shocked when he played queen d3, but obviously he was quite depressed already, because bishop e3 or knight e3 just clinches it. So,
so where do you think he made the decisive mistake? Is the move like h3?
Well, I think bishop e2 might be the mistake. Oh, earlier, yes. I think bishop h7 check is probably a better move.
But after h3, it's definitely not good for white. If he after 14 h3, because that's
21 h3, you mean?
No, 14 actually, because I think after.
Yeah, no, this is all quite nice for black. I mean, I'm not 100% clear whether there's a forced draw or I'm better in many of these lines, because there were just, believe me, there were tons of lines. But I knew that at least there is no line that black is worse.
Okay.
And well, in fact, he only played h3 here, and then it's I don't see what he can do otherwise. Knight e5, I have knight takes h2, and it's over. So well, if you like your classics, then this is very similar to Rotlevi Rubinstein. So same concept: bishop on b7, bishop on b6, knight on g4, and always something landing on h4, h3, g3, rook takes c3, h3. You know these ideas. So it's very, very similar. Well, I think knight d5 is a good move, especially. I'd find it at the board, but I wouldn't say. But the point is, you have to see f5. That's maybe the only detail.
So, how would you rank this game among your classics? Or is that too early to say?
Well, no. Of course, this will easily be one of my best games that I've played. I mean, to win a game like this against Levon, who's my nightmare opponent, as you probably know. Yeah, no, this is definitely wonderful. Funnily enough, both my black wins against him have been real classics. I don't win that often, but when I win, at least it's a good one.
So it's at least a pleasant opponent in that sense. If you win, you have
pleasant opponent is too strong, but okay, I'm very happy with today's result. Let's not chortle on.
And is this the announcement of your aspirations to win the tournament, so to speak? Like, this is a big win because Aronian is, I mean, he won last year and previous years. So how do you feel about your...
Well, so far I'm taking it just one game at a time, and of course today was a very pleasant surprise, and also yesterday. Just very nice wins against very, very heavy guys. So yeah, I'm happy, but announcement, I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, if I can win games, I definitely quite happy to win like this.